My neighbor sent me a message telling me to keep the windows closed when I am busy. Her children are still small. It took me a while to figure out what she meant. My heart sank. I've been away on a business trip these past few days. Only my wife has been at home. Back at the hotel, I tried to calm down. Could my wife be there? The more I thought about it, the worse the scenarios I imagined. Sarah and I have only been married for 2 years. I have always treated her well. I haven't let her work since we got married. I transfer $2,000 to her card every month for living expenses without fail. I opened our chat history. The last messages were us saying goodnight. Yesterday, I wanted to say something, but I didn't know how to start. I pressed my phone tightly, thinking for a while. Then I opened a food delivery app. I changed the delivery address to our house and ordered a meal. After a driver accepted the order, I called him immediately. I told the driver to say that he had delivered it to the wrong address when he arrived. Then I asked if he could verify how many people were in the house and if it was possible to take a secret photo. At first, the driver refused, but when I offered him $200 and told him to leave the food, he accepted immediately. I added the driver on WhatsApp and transferred the $200 quickly. About half an hour later, the driver sent me a photo taken from a strange angle. The photo was blurry, but I could still tell it was my home. I looked closely and definitely recognized my wife, Sarah. There was a strange man standing next to her, but I couldn't see his face clearly. Even though I had prepared myself mentally, seeing the photo still made me feel a chill. In the photo, the man was wearing the blue pajamas that Sarah had bought for me. I sat on the hotel couch. Sarah and I met through a mutual friend, mainly because my family pressured me to get married, and Sarah seemed like a good match overall. I already had a house and a car. Her family was also satisfied with me, so we got married pretty fast. After the wedding, I wouldn't let her continue working. I have a company, so I could easily maintain our family on my own. Thinking about how I paid $188,000 for the bride price to marry her, only for her to use my money to betray me in the house I bought for $10,000 per square meter, made me tremble with anger. The most important thing now was to find out who this man was and when the affair began. After calming down, I sent Sarah a message. I told her I had some unexpected meetings here and that I would be out for a few more days. The goal was to get her to let her guard down. I then booked a flight immediately. When I returned, I went straight to my childhood friend Mark's house. Mark is a rich playboy who only knows how to eat, drink, and have fun all day long. He never works. After returning from studying abroad, he never cared about his family's business. His father gave him a lecture once, which supposedly awakened his entrepreneurial spirit. As a result, he lost several $1,000,000 in only 6 months. I can't help but suspect he did it on purpose. Since then, his family never mentioned work to him again. They only give him money regularly to live extravagantly. When I found Mark, he was sunbathing on his big balcony. I didn't tell him why I came alone. I asked him if I could stay at his house for a few days. We've been close since childhood, so he never questions what I do. After I dropped off my things, I secretly took a cab back to my neighborhood. I didn't go upstairs. I went to the gym in the subway. First, I checked the cameras on each of my cars. I was sure I'd find something hidden in one of the cars. Their conversation made my blood boil again. When I overheard it, they were both in my car. I never imagined that Sarah, who acted pretty and innocent in front of me, could be so flirtatious with another man. I didn't have time to get angry. I quickly made a copy of the footage. Then I went to the security room of the complex. The old man in the security room knew me well. As soon as I entered, I saw Old Man Lee dozing off inside. Sleeping on the job, Old Man Lee," I joked. He smiled and wiped the drool from the corner of his mouth. "Ha ha ha. The construction site next to my house was too loud last night. I didn't sleep well." "What brings you here, Mr. Johnson? You don't usually come to this little place." I took out a pack of cigarettes and handed it to him. "I found a scratch on my car today, but I'm not sure when it happened. I wanted to check the footage to see what day it got scratched so I can file an insurance claim." He exchanged pleasantries with me before accepting the cigarettes. "Go ahead, take your time watching." "I'm going to smoke a cigarette to wake up quickly." I checked the footage. Sure enough, the night I left for my business trip, that man had clearly entered my house. The security camera clearly captured his face this time, while Old Man Lee was still out. I quickly took some pictures with my phone and left. Back at Mark's house, he had already left. I sat at lunch trying to remember the face of the man on my phone. After a while, I was sure I had never seen him before. If I had known him, I would definitely have remembered, but this face was completely unfamiliar. After smoking half a pack of cigarettes, I took out my phone. I made a reservation at a restaurant and then sent a message to Sarah. I told her that I had found a great restaurant during my business trip and I wanted her to try it. So I made a reservation for 2 people. I told her she could take a friend to try it out. Sarah responded quickly with a cute emoji saying, "Thank you, honey." She used to look adorable. Now I just felt upset as the time approached. I went to the restaurant first and found a seat in the corner. Shortly after, Sarah arrived with her boyfriend. They entered holding hands like a couple in love. At that moment, I felt like a clown hiding in the corner, afraid of making any noise. During the meal, they were sweet, taking photos together and feeding each other. After taking some clear photos, I sneaked out the side door. The photos I had now were enough to kick her out of my house. But reason told me I couldn't handle this so easily. Back at Mark's place, he still wasn't home. He had probably gone to a bargain. I sat on the couch looking at the photos I had just taken, thinking about my next move. Suddenly, Mark appeared behind me. "Bro, what's wrong? Why the long face?" I was startled. "Shit, you scared me. Didn't you go out?" "Nah, I was feeling sleepy this afternoon, so I took a nap. Didn't expect it to be dark when I woke up. Let me take a shower, then we'll go grab a late-night snack." I was feeling pretty troubled, so I agreed. We went to the barbecue stand we used to frequent when we were in school. After sitting down, Mark started asking me, "Did something happen? You are not going home hiding out at my place." I originally didn't plan to tell him. I figured he'd find out sooner or later anyway. So I just spilled everything. "Fuck. You treated her so well, and she still betrayed you." His voice rose several decibels when he heard the story. "If there's anything I can do to help, just say the word, bro." Actually, there is. I took out my phone and sent him the man's photo. "You've got connections. Help me look into this guy. Just investigate. Don't do anything else. Leave it to me. I've got this." He patted his chest, assuring me. The next day, I slept until noon at Mark's place. As soon as I woke up, I received a WhatsApp message from him. He told me he had found information on the guy I asked about, then sent me a document. All of the man's information had been dug up. I spent a few minutes reading the document Mark sent me. After finishing, a chill ran down my spine. The guy's name is Luke. He's from the same hometown as Sarah. They were even high school classmates and dated for a while in college. That was just 2 years before we got married. So is this an old flame rekindled? The more I thought about it, the sicker I felt. Her family had taken so much money from me over the years. Sarah acted all cute and innocent in front of me, but stabbed me in the back. Counting the days was about time for me to return home. I sent Sarah a WhatsApp message in advance, giving her enough time to get her old flame out of my house. "You must be tired after these days away, honey." Sarah pounced on me as soon as I got home. I felt disgusted and stepped back. "Sarah, the shower in my hotel was broken yesterday. I haven't bathed and I smell." "That's okay, honey. Go take a shower first. I'll take care of your things." She smiled and took my luggage from me. In the past, I would have felt so blessed to have such a cute and sweet wife to heal me after a tiring day at work. I never imagined she was so wild behind my back. After showering, I sat on the couch dealing with company matters from the past few days. She bounced over and sat next to me, holding my arm. "Honey, I've had my eye on a bag recently, but it's a bit pricey," she said in a coquette-ish tone by my ear. "That's fine, buy it," I said without looking at her. "But wait until next month. I've put my money into the company for now. I'll buy it for you when the project payment comes in next month. Okay? Thank you, honey. You are the best." She happily kissed me on the cheek and went back to the bedroom to watch her TV shows. As soon as she left, I rushed to the bathroom to wash my face. Damn, how unlucky. She came out again after a while. "Honey, when are you coming?" "To bed. You go to sleep first. I still have a lot of company documents to review. I'll come to bed when I'm done." Looking at her drowsy appearance, I guess the sleep-inducing aromatherapy Mark gave me was working. Mark had given it to me before I left today, telling me to use it to check Sarah's phone. I told him Sarah usually keeps her phone under her pillow, so it's hard to get. He then pulled out an aromatherapy diffuser, saying it helps with sleep. Put it by the bed at night and she'll sleep like the dead. Breakpoint.